These are daily affirmations you can speak over yourself from the book A Course in Miracles by Helen Schucman. Chapter 1 through 2. The meaning of miracles, the separation, and the atonement. A miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. It does not change the external world. It changes the mind that is looking at it. And a changed mind produces a changed world. I am willing for that shift. I welcome it. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder than another. The same love that heals a grievance heals a disease, because both are the same error seen from different angles. I release both with the same willingness. The atonement is the undoing of the belief in separation. I was never actually separated from God. I believed I was, and the belief produced this world. As the belief is corrected, the world that belief made begins to disappear. I accept the atonement for myself. I am in charge of the process of atonement. My function is to accept it for myself and offer it to everyone I meet. This is not a burden, it is a privilege, and it is the most healing thing I can do in any situation. Chapters 3 through 5. The innocent perception, the illusions of the ego, healing and wholeness. I choose to see innocence rather than guilt, not because I am naive about behavior, but because I understand that what I see in another, I strengthen in myself. I choose to strengthen innocence in both of us. The ego is not my enemy. It is a mistaken identity that I have been maintaining out of habit and fear. I am not the ego. I am not its thoughts, its judgments, or its defenses. I am the awareness in which the ego appears, and I am free to choose differently. Healing and wholeness are the same thing. There is no partial healing. There is only the recognition of what was always whole. I am whole. The appearance of brokenness is the ego's projection. I withdraw that projection now. Chapters 6 through 8. The lessons of love, the gifts of the kingdom, the journey back. The lessons of love are these: to have, to give all, to all. To have peace, teach peace, and therefore learn it. Be vigilant only for God and His kingdom. These are the three principles I practice daily. They are simpler than the ego's complexity, and they work. I am on the journey back, not to a place I have never been, but to a truth I temporarily forget. The journey is not long. The distance was never real. The only thing required is my willingness to let go of what I thought I wanted more. God is my strength. Vision is His gift. I do not see with the body's eyes. I see with the vision of Christ, the vision that looks past the appearances of this world to the truth that underlies them. That vision is being given to me as I become willing to receive it. Chapters 9 through 12. the acceptance of the atonement, the idols of sickness, God or the ego, the Holy Spirit's curriculum. I accept the atonement for myself, not as a theological event, but as the moment-by-moment practice of releasing the ego stories and returning to the truth. Every forgiven grievance is an act of atonement. I practice it willingly and often. Sickness is not my body's statement. It is a decision made at the level of mind. I can change my mind, and as I change my mind, as I release the guilt and fear that sickness expresses, the body follows the correction. The Holy Spirit is the curriculum I have enrolled in. I did not design the course. I do not need to understand every lesson before I begin it. I only need to show up, stay open, and trust the teacher. The teacher is trustworthy. I trust him. Chapters 13 through 15. The Guiltless World, Bringing Illusions to Truth, the Purpose of Time. I live in a guiltless world, not the world I see with the body's eyes. The world is full of the guilt I have projected onto it. But the world I am learning to see, in which every person is innocent, every error is correctable, and no grievance is justified. I bring my illusions to the truth rather than bringing the truth to my illusions. The truth does not need my help. My illusions do. I offer them honestly, without defense, to the light that dissolves them. Time is given to me as a tool for learning, not as a punishment. I use it well. Every moment is an opportunity to choose again, to release a fear thought and replace it with love. I do not waste the gift of time on grievances that have already served their purpose. Chapters 16 through 18. The forgiveness of illusions, forgiveness and healing, the dream and the reality. True forgiveness is the recognition that what I thought happened was a dream. The other person's guilt is not real. My own victimhood is not real. The only real in any encounter is the love that is underneath the appearance, calling to be recognized. Forgiveness is the means by which I am healed. As I forgive, the guilt I was carrying in the form of judgment dissolves. As the guilt dissolves, the fear dissolves. As the fear dissolves, I return to the peace that was always my inheritance. I live in a dream, not as a metaphor for unreality, but as the Course's precise description of my current condition. The dreamer who knows they are dreaming can change the dream. I know I am dreaming. I choose a different dream. Chapters 19 through 21. Beyond the body, the promise of the resurrection, the inner picture. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. This is the declaration the Course returns to again and again because it is the correction of the most fundamental error, the belief that I am what I can see in the mirror. I am not. The resurrection is not a historical event I am waiting for. It is the shift in perception that occurs in any moment I choose love over fear, forgiveness over grievance, truth over illusion. I am resurrecting right now. What I see in others reflects what I am projecting from within. When I see peace in another, I am acknowledging the peace in myself. When I see innocence, I am claiming my own. I practice seeing what I want to find, because what I look for, I will find. Chapters 22 through 25. Salvation and the Holy Spirit, sin as adjustment, the true alternative, the goal of the curriculum. Every relationship I have is either a holy relationship or a special one. The special relationship is based on the ego's need, what the other person can do for me. The Holy Spirit is based on a shared purpose, what we can become together in God's service. I choose holy relationships. The goal of this curriculum is not knowledge, it is peace. I release my investment in being right and pick up my investment in being peaceful. These two cannot coexist. I choose peace, knowing that peace is the gateway to everything I actually want. There is no sin, there is only error, and error can be corrected. I do not condemn the mistakes of others or myself. I look at them clearly and I ask, what is the correction? And then I make it, or I allow the Holy Spirit to make it through me. Chapters 26 through 31. The transition, the healed relationship, beyond all idols, the last judgment, the real world, the disappearance of the world. I am in transition. I am moving from a perception based on the body's senses and the ego's story to a vision based on the Holy Spirit's truth. I do not need to see the whole path. I only need to take the next step. The next step is always available. I see the real world, not the world the ego made, but the world that appears when the ego's interpretation is removed. A world of peace, innocence, and light, in which every person I meet is an expression of God's love calling to be recognized. The last judgment is not a reckoning. It is the final realization that only love was ever real, that nothing I feared was ever real, and that the self I spent a lifetime defending never existed. It is the gentlest possible awakening. I welcome it. The world disappears not in catastrophe but in correction. As the mind is healed, the projection that produced the world dissolves. This is not loss. This is the release of everything I never actually wanted and the return to everything I always was. Part 2, the workbook for students. 365 lessons. Lesson 1 through 5. Nothing I see means anything. I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. Nothing I see carries the meaning the ego has assigned to it. I am the meaning maker, and the meanings I have been making have been producing the world I experience. I choose to make different meanings, meanings that serve love rather than fear. I do not understand anything I see. This is not a confession of ignorance. It is the recognition that the ego's interpretation of every event has been wrong. I am willing to see differently. That willingness is the beginning of vision. Lesson 34 through 35. I could see peace instead of this. My mind is a part of God's. I am very holy. I could see peace instead of this, whatever this is. In every situation where I am tempted to see threat, conflict, or loss, I pause. I remember there is another way to see this, and I invite that scene. My mind is a part of God's. I am very holy. Not as a statement of spiritual pride, but as the accurate account of what I am at the level of truth. Holiness is not earned, it is recognized. I am recognizing it now. Lesson 46 through 48. God is the love in which I forgive. Forgiveness is not something I manufacture out of spiritual discipline. It is the natural expression of my true nature as a being of love. I forgive because I am love, and God is the love I am made of. God is the strength in which I trust. I do not trust my own strength. The ego's strength is the strength of a fictional character defending a fictional story. God's strength is the only strength that is real. I trust it completely. There is nothing to fear, not as a denial of difficulty, but as the settled recognition that what I fear is either unreal or already within God's care. Neither warrants fear. I release it. Lessons 61 through 62. I am the light of the world. This is a statement of function, not ego. As I practice forgiveness, I extend light into every situation I enter. I do not need to announce it or perform it. I only need to be willing to offer it. The light does the rest. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Not one function among many, the function. Everything else I do in this world is secondary to this. I organize my life around it accordingly. Love holds no grievances. Lessons 68 through 69. I choose to be love today. That means I choose against grievances, not by suppressing them, but by bringing them to the light where they dissolve. I cannot be love and hold grievances simultaneously. I choose love. My grievances are the curtains I have drawn across the light within me. Every grievance I release is a curtain pulled back. I am pulling them back one by one and finding that the light was always there. It is always there. Lesson 94 through 98. I am as God created me. This one idea contains the answer to every question I have ever had about my identity, my worth, and my capacity. If I am as God created me, then I am whole, I am loved, I am free, and I am capable of everything God's plan requires of me. I am spirit, not a body that sometimes has a spiritual experience, not a mind trapped in matter. Spirit, the living expression of God's creative power, temporarily appearing to inhabit a form. I live from that identity. I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. I was not placed here by accident. My specific life, with its specific history and its specific people, is the exact curriculum designed to produce my awakening. I accept it, all of it. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Lesson 121 through 122. Forgiveness is the key to happiness, not therapy, not achievement, not love from another person, not financial security. Forgiveness. Every other path to happiness is temporary. Forgiveness is the one that actually works. I practice it as my primary discipline. Forgiveness offers everything I want. Peace, joy, release from the past, the experience of love that does not depend on conditions, this sense of being held by something greater than my own understanding. All of this is available through forgiveness. I accept the offer. Lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was. I release the interpretations, the projections, the accumulated meanings I've given to the people and events in my life. I let the world be new. I let it be what God's vision shows it to be, rather than what my fear has made it. As I release my grip on the world I made, the real world becomes visible. It was always here. It was always available. It was simply too committed to my own story. I was simply too committed to my own story to see it. I am less committed to that story now. I am more committed to the truth. Lesson 153 through 155. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. The ego tells me I need defenses. The Holy Spirit tells me the need for defenses is itself the problem. When I stop defending the fiction, I discover there is nothing to defend against. The real self needs no protection. I am among the ministers of God, not by title or ordination, but by function. Everywhere I go, I carry the possibility of a miracle. Every encounter is an opportunity to see the face of Christ in someone who may not know it is there. I take that function seriously. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I have been trying to manage the curriculum. I stop. I hand the day to the Holy Spirit and I follow the guidance I receive. This is not passivity. It is the most active thing I can do. Lesson 169 through 170. By grace I live, not by effort, not by merit, not by the accumulation of good works, by the grace of God that is the foundation of every moment of my existence. I receive it now with gratitude and I pass it on. There is no cruelty in God and none in me. The cruelty I have experienced, both given and received, is the ego's story, not the truth. At the level of what I actually am, I am as incapable of cruelty as God is. I claim that identity. Lesson 182 and 183. I will be still in an instant and go home. Just for a moment, I release every thought, every concern, every agenda, and I rest in the awareness that is always here, beneath the noise. That awareness is home. It is available in an instant. I go there now. I call upon God's name and on my own. They are the same. When I call upon God, I am calling upon the truth of what I am. When I remember what I am calling upon God. The name and the nature are one. I speak them together. Lesson 199 through 201. I am not a body, I am free. This is the declaration the workbook builds toward over 200 lessons, not as a denial of physical experience, but as the correction of the most deeply held error. The belief that what I am is bounded by a body, limited by time, and subject to death. I am not. For I am still as God created me. After everything that has happened or appeared to happen, every mistake, every loss, every moment of apparent separation from God, I am still exactly as God created me. Whole, loved, free. The dream did not change what I am. It only obscured it. I am remembering everything. Lesson 261 through 265. God is my refuge and security. Not a religion, not a system, not a belief I am maintaining through effort. God is the ground beneath everything. The fact underneath every appearance. The fact that was before the world was made and will remain when it is done. I rest in that. My holy vision sees all things as pure. Every person I encounter carries the face of Christ underneath the personality the ego has constructed. I practice seeing past the construction to the face. That practice is what the Course calls vision. I am developing it. Lesson 360 to 365. Peace be to me. Peace to my brother, who is one with me. Let all the world be blessed with peace through us. This is the declaration the workbook closes with. The peace I extend is the peace I receive. The blessing I offer is the blessing I am. I offer it freely to everyone. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. This is the final surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of a student who has learned enough to trust the teacher completely. I give this instant and every instant after. Part 3. The Manual for Teachers. Who are God's teachers? The call and the qualification. I am a teacher of God, not because I have completed the curriculum, but because I have accepted it. The qualification for teaching is willingness. I am willing. That is enough. My teaching is my living. The lesson I offer most powerfully is not the one I explain, but the one I embody. The peace I carry, the forgiveness I practice, the willingness to see innocence where the ego sees guilt. That is what changes people. I practice it. Everyone I meet has been sent to me, or I have been sent to them. There are no accidents in this curriculum. Every encounter has a purpose, and the purpose is always the same: to offer a miracle, a shift from fear to love, in whatever form is most needed. What are the characteristics of God's teachers? Trust, honesty, tolerance, gentleness, joy, defenselessness, generosity, patience, faithfulness, open-mindedness. I am developing trust, not trust in the ego's version of how things should go, but trust in the Holy Spirit's management of every situation I encounter. Things always work out when I let God lead. I am accumulating the evidence of this. My trust is growing. I am learning to be defenseless. Every defense I have erected has been an advertisement for what I fear. I lower them one by one and find that what I was defending against was never real. The defenselessness are safe in ways the defended never can be. I am generous. I give freely because I understand that in a non-dual reality, giving and receiving are the same act. What I extend outward, I simultaneously experience within. I extend peace, forgiveness, and love, and I know them more deeply in each extension. I am patient. The curriculum is not on my timetable. I trust the timing of the Holy Spirit. I do not push the river. I flow with it, and I find that the destination is always closer than my impatience suggested. I am open-minded. I hold every conclusion lightly. I do not cling to what I think I know at the expense of what the Holy Spirit is trying to show me. I remain a student as I teach. That openness is what keeps the teaching alive. What is the peace of God? The goal beneath every goal. The peace of God is the foundation beneath every situation I encounter. It does not come and go with circumstances. It is always present. I am always either resting in it or choosing against it. I choose to rest in it. I choose the peace of God, not because I have resolved every conflict, answered every question, or achieved every goal. I choose it because it is what I actually want, more than the ego's substitutes, more than the temporary satisfactions of the world, more than being right. The peace of God passes all understanding. It is not produced by logic or achieved by effort. It is received by the mind that has released its grip on the ego story and opened itself to something greater. I open, I receive, I rest. I hope this blesses you. Grace and peace.